So after Putnam has got disposed, he thinks, of this psychologism idea, he moves on more directly to think about meaning. And he says, well, here are two different ways to think about the meaning of the word water. On one theory, water means the same thing on Earth as it does on Twin Earth. It's just that on Earth, water is H2O, and on Twin Earth, water is XYZ. A very different theory is that the words mean different things on the different worlds. On Earth, water means H2O, and on Twin Earth, water means XYZ. On the first theory, the words mean the same thing, it's just what water is varies. On the second, the words mean different things, and there's no variation in what water is. Water is universally H2O, and what twin earthlings call water is universally XYZ. It's just we mean different things in the first place. Putnam thinks that his examples settle things pretty clearly in favor of the second theory, that what water means on Twin Earth is something different from what it means on Earth. But the question, and that's a problem for this internalist view of meaning, as we said. And Putnam thinks that it's a motivation for this externalist view of meaning, where somehow the world kind of helps us pick out what water means. But an important question, obviously, is how exactly does that work? If water means something different on Twin Earth to what it means on Earth, how exactly does that work? Why is it that they mean different things? And in effect, the explanation is basically going to be the reason they mean different things is because the stuff that's around us on Earth is different from the stuff that's around the people on Twin Earth. The way to see why that might be relevant, Putnam thinks, is to think about how we might go about fixing the reference of water in the first place. This, of course, is going to be an oversimplified picture, but basically Putnam thinks that we fix the reference of natural kind terms like water in a way basically like this. So, we go out into the world, we see, that there's water, there's a lake with some fish swimming in it. We see that, we want to give it a name, and we might say something like, water picks out the same liquid as whatever that stuff around here is. That stuff around here in Earth being H2O. So the way we fix the reference of the word water is we point or we fix on an example of water somehow, and we sort of decide that the word water refers to whatever is the same liquid as that stuff there. And importantly, we're thinking that the same liquid, to be the same liquid, is to be made of the same stuff, regardless of whether we know what stuff water is made of. So our intention is just, water is whatever that stuff is. Whatever that stuff which is in lakes, which falls from the sky, which fills the oceans, whatever that stuff is, let's call it water. We don't know exactly what that stuff is because we don't know what its chemical composition is. We don't know what it is for something to be water. But we do say, well, whatever it is, whatever that stuff around here is, call it water. And it's because, as a matter of actual fact, the stuff that's around here is H2O. That's why water picks out H2O. That's why H2O is the meaning of the word water in this case. Of course, the twin earthling goes through exactly the same kind of situation, but it produces a different result exactly because the stuff in the lakes that falls from the sky and that fills the oceans is different in Twin Earth. The twin earthlings, they go out into the world, they see all this stuff, they decide, well, let's let the word water refer to whatever it is that's in the lakes around here, that's in the oceans, that falls from the sky. Let's let water refer to that. But precisely because that's a different substance, precisely because it's XYZ that fills the lakes, that falls from the sky, that fills the oceans. That's why on Twin Earth, going through this same ceremony of letting water pick out that thing, that's why it results in a different meaning. Because they're thinking, let's let water be whatever liquid is around here with these properties, and the liquid that's around there on Twin Earth is different from the one on Earth. Another way to put it is to say the reason why there's a difference is because the way that we fix the reference is what's called indexical. So indexicals are special words. They're words like here, I, now, today, tomorrow. They're words that what exactly they pick out depends on who's saying them, when they're saying them, i.e. features of the context. And remember, as Putnam put it, this sort of reference-fixing ceremony crucially involves an indexical. He's thinking there's an indexical element, because when I decide to let the word water refer to that stuff, the way I do it is I say, let water refer to whatever has those features, like clear, drinkable, odorless, whatever has those features around here, around the world in which we live. Now, here has a different meaning when said by the Earthlings as it does when it's said by the Twin Earthlings. So if you're thinking that reference is fixed indexically, i.e. that the way you fix it is by thinking water is the clear, drinkable stuff around here, then that's going to produce a different result on Earth than it is on Twin Earth. The stuff that's clear and drinkable around here on Earth is water, is H2O. The stuff that's clear and drinkable on Twin Earth is XYZ. So saying the clear, drinkable stuff around here, that's clearly going to pick out a different thing to what it's going to pick out on Twin Earth. So if that's the way that you say what water refers to in the first place, is the clear, drinkable stuff around here, that's going to mean something different on Twin Earth, where it's going to produce a different result in terms of what water refers to on Twin Earth than it is going to produce here. And this sort of makes sense of this broader thing that I said at the beginning. Because remember what I said. I said that Putnam is putting forward what we call now an externalist view of meaning. The idea is the world itself does some of the work in settling what exactly it is your words refer to. It's not that the world does everything. Like it's still clearly important that we get to decide to at least a certain extent what our words mean. But the important contribution of externalism is to say, well, it's not just us, the world contributes something too. And thinking of reference of natural kind terms as being fixed indexically helps us see how that might be the case. Because if the way you fix reference is indexically, if you decide water means whatever, the word water refers to whatever is clear and drinkable around here, then where you are when you say that sentence, whether you're on Earth or whether you're on Twin Earth, that's not i.e. a fact that you don't have control over. An external world fact like that is going to play a role in what the reference of the word is. So it's exactly because reference is determined indexically. That's exactly how meaning gets to the externalist. Because what your ceremony of naming produces, since it is an indexical ceremony, depends a lot on where it's being done. I.e. it depends on this kind of external world factor.